Hello everyone, we have a video instead of a stream this week, and sadly it's because I don't have the best of news to share. The mod is being delayed. We simply have no choice. I'm gonna be honest and transparent. This is my first time managing a project of this size, and I misjudged the timeline. I did believe we could complete it on time, and we all tried very hard, but I had misjudged the actual sizes of the tasks ahead of us. It is no one's fault but my own. The schedule was heavy, strict, and had too little of wiggle room for everyone's lives, including my own. On that note, all staff will be getting a 2-week vacation because they honestly deserve it with how hard they tried. There most likely won't be any updates during this time, since I will expect zero work from them. While they take their due rest, I will continue to work on making a new schedule and smooth out the process. Learn from my mistakes, really, and better set up my team for success. On that note, we do not currently have a release date and we won't for the time being. I'll explain further in a bit, but long story short, we don't know if it'll take 3 months or 4 or 6. I don't think it's right to put my devs under that stress again, since the first time we took a chance, I don't want to take that chance again and make them suffer. It's not fair, it's not right. What I can tell you is we are certain it will be completed and released before 2022. We will release a release date once beta testing starts. I know that seems really far away, but it's the only promise I can give at the moment that I know I can fulfill while doing right by y'all and right by my loyal team. That's the brunt of the video. The rest is going to be updating and showing you the dev side of what's going on, so y'all can see what we see. Heads up though, if you're in the Discord, we work in the general voice chat often. You'll be able to hear all the newest details because you'll be in chat with us while we discuss them. Anyway, the website is almost up. It has some finishing tasks and we need to fill it with content, but it's almost there. As you can see, we have all the intended tabs listed here. Don't mind the banner, it's a placeholder. And then at the end here, you can see the donation tabs. We will be relying on backing support from those who love what the project is and is supposed to be. And currently we don't have much support in this way, but we'll be trying to make that better soon. For the actual tabs that will be on the website, this is the current chosen design. We are going to do a little bit about the design if we need to once it's all finished and filled. It might be a little bit too colorful, but we'll see once it's filled up. Obviously, there will be more gray text here, etc. But the home page is just home. And then download will have the mod pack for the Sequestrian server and then the different ways of getting it to function for actually being able to play on the server. So we plan on having kind of a how-to for how to do it through CurseForge, which we have this one set first because through CurseForge it will automatically update the pack. So as we update, you won't even have to worry about it. It'll automatically do so. Multi-MC, which is another system that I very much prefer. I love Multi-MC. It's absolutely fantastic. And we'll have tabs on how to do that. And then the original MC launcher for those who choose not to use multi-MC or CurseForge. And then this would be the address for the server itself, which I believe at this time is sequestrian.mc.com, but that's not open currently. It's a whitelisted server and we are currently still building it. Under community, it would be joining, so we'd have links to the YouTube, to the Discord, to everything else that we might have that you might want to follow along with. The server rules, events coming up, registries like for the horses themselves or branding, etc., and then who we support. So we plan on supporting some charities along with the server itself. So we want to raise awareness for some certain charities that we're still going to be reaching out to them and making sure it's okay that we put their name with our server, etc. So they don't like they would have to give us permission to be able to do that. So we don't have those listed yet, and we're not going to currently say their names yet. But moving on. Guides, we would have FAQ, horse care, the questing in itself, the maps and locations, roles, and then MC commands and Discord commands, because we plan on having a Discord bot custom created for Sequestrian, and then MC commands as well. That way, because like one of the biggest things for me getting on new horse servers was I'm new to servers in general, so memorizing so many different commands I didn't even remember what half of them did, and then going back to work or doing whatever I'm doing and coming back in a month and not remembering any of them ever again. Yeah, we're going to try and have a list of those on the website so that way you can just have it up on a second screen or do whatever you do and not have to worry about that. Sequestrian, so SWE specifically, this would be the tab for, well, just SWE. So keeping SWE separate from SWEM on some accounts. So the staff, the mission and values, ban mute appeals. So just in case you think something wasn't done correctly, you can contact us and we can appeal that if we see fit. Suggestions for the servers and complaints. So you can make a complaint against someone else or make a complaint that something wasn't working right or whatever. You can still contact us through the website or through the Discord itself. SWEM, bug reports, Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, and about the mod in general, and then the store. So we're trying to set it up to where we have like single donations, monthly packages, what those prizes can be for different goals that we reach, and then the charities that we support again listed, and then our goals. So we have certain goals that we need to reach in order to make sure that we have the funds to host the server, that we can keep going on a lot of the production that we're going to try to do. So we are doing everything we can to not make this a pay to play. I do not want to make this a pay to play in any way, shape, or form. The monthly packages are simply things that might save you a little bit of time, like if you need pickaxes or shavings for your horses or different things like that. They're not they're not detrimental items. They're not really flashy or really big, but they simply save you some time from having to go to the PvE Wilds realms and go collect that material. Just little helpful things for donating to the mod, but nothing too crazy or big. We're actually considering having a mini form of the mod with the horse in it. Like the actual SWEM horse. This is technically the old model, but the SWEM horse in it, so those who helped out before release might have like a little alpha version where they can play with the horse a little bit. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how angry my dev gets about suggesting that. I haven't actually told him about that yet, but I guess he's gonna figure it out soon enough. Anyway, I'm sure it won't be too big of a deal. It's just tabbing out a lot of stuff that we have that doesn't exactly work yet, and then just giving it to the correct people should be too big of an issue. The feature tab. So we have this actually set up with our Whitebook bot. Whitebook being our what is called our profile bot, where we'd be able to keep tabs on good and bad people. So that way, our admins are all on the same page, and so one admin doesn't overreact or another admin doesn't underreact, and everyone can stay safe, and everyone can feel that whatever the admins do would be just, because we would have documentation on anything that we have done. Included in that would be like featured here. Featured would probably be like an event that's going on or an announcement that we made. We can actually do this through Discord and it'll update to the website real time. So that should help out a lot with making sure everyone's on the same page. Updates as well, working the same exact way for the SWE, for SWEM, for Patreon, for like our goals, etc. Would all work the same way. Sequestrian chat, the Minecraft chat is actually supposed to be listed here. This will be updated soon, so this bar won't be here. But you can go onto the website and see the chat that is going on in Minecraft and in Discord. So the Discord and Minecraft, they actually share the same chat. They respond to each other. And so if you're in the Discord, you can talk to Minecraft. If you're in Minecraft, you can talk to Discord. And this right here will show it all. So you'd be able to watch it from the outside and be able to see who's on and maybe hop on yourself. Continuing on from the store here with the single donations, etc., we are thinking about using a different platform for doing this a little bit more transparently so you guys can see where the money is going. Currently, we're just going to use Patreon since it's well known and well trusted, and while we test some other avenues. But the Patreon here, we have this set up, again, the older picture. I'm going to be honest with this. I believe the last post that was made, notice into the future, as you should be able to see. I made a post that honestly I am just not active enough on our social medias to warrant people to pay specifically to see special posts. I simply cannot do it, if I'm going to be honest. With how much work that I have to do with my life and then the mod itself that I already dedicate all of my time to, I simply can't do it. Um, the posts were so already outdated, and I was gonna feel terrible if someone subscribed to see special posts, but Discord's posted first, and nothing is posted on Patreon. So this is actually a post that describes that by helping us on Patreon, you're going to be helping the mod in itself for the goodness of the mod, for the goodness of what we're trying to create, rather than specifically trying to see special posts or anything of that sort. However, there are still rewards. So the $1 a month is just supporting, and so is the $5 a month. It's just you really want to help us because we need to be able to pay for the server, we need to be able to help our devs, we need to be able to pay for certain things that we simply don't have the skills to do. There's certain animation things for what is it called, for like trailers and things that we simply do not have the skill set for, and we have to go outside, or paying for the website hosting. All of these things, they need a little bit of payment, and I simply do not have it. I do not, and we do need help. um, so for the $1 and $5 amounts, it is simply for the fact that you really just want to help us make something that we're really trying to do. That's really great. Uh, the $15, I was gonna say $15 an hour. The $15 per month would actually be double voting power. So if we have a vote of some sort and you have the equestrian role, you would count as 2 votes instead of 1. And then suggestions would be looked at first. So we have a lot of suggestions that people make. But if you have the equestrian role, we will look at those ones first, especially because it's a different and brighter color. Because equestrian in the Discord is like a light blue compared to the purple. So honestly, it's noticed first in the anyway. But so double voting power on that. Plus you'd have suggestions, and then you'd have the Discord rank, like I said, which would be the light blue. And then going on from there, the $15 a month, we would do custom items. They would have to be within reason, of course, but different tack. We could have, I would have to paint them personally, but we can make those to where you can have I could try to make a logo on it, or certain colors for you that would match a certain horse, or just different things of that nature. If you thought you had a good idea that we should add to the mod, we can work on that too, depending on how large scale that idea is. But yes, with the $50 per month, we would work on adding those custom items for you, either specifically for you to use with your name on it, or just things that you think would be great to add to the mod in itself. And then the $100 a month is for those who just really, really love what we're trying to create and really want it to be done faster. Because honestly, this would help a lot with getting things done faster. You would be mentioned in credits, and then you would have access to the Minecraft test server. The test server, whether that's the beta or the current one that we're actually building on, that means you would have the latest version of SWEM as it's being built, and you can play with things and dev test them for us if you want. We'll beta test them for us. So if you notice that something crashes the server, you'd be able to tell us first that you screwed up. And then that also goes with the double voting power, suggestions, etc. And this is just a little blurb that I posted for that. But most of these, again, these are for pure support of the mod, and these are just thank yous that we give in return for helping us out. Uh, there are going to be no posts on the Patreon as of further notice. Okay, so going through those, the last page I wanted to show you guys was the SWEM to release date. So we have a larger document that includes absolutely everything that the mod has, with which I believe I've showed that before. Many pages, many details, many everything. But this is our condensed sheet of everything that was left to do. So this right here is our all jobs sheet for the SWEM to release date. This was the original. Our team here, like our different teams for what they specifically do, and then our actual people, Legend Den, or just Legend, he is our main dev. In the past 5 months, he has done probably 70% of the entire mod to completion. Um, okay, I made that sound wrong. He's done like 100% of all. Okay, not 100%. Let me get my stuff together here for a second. He's done about 98% of all work done on the dev side of the mod, which is 70% to completion. There we go. Now I got it. Silver Wolf is a newer dev who is helping us out. They're doing a lot of those background tasks, a lot of those things that help Legend get onto the harder tasks, while Silver does the more background things that aren't exactly fun to do, but they have to be done, and they're very reliable. I love Silver. Grizzly Burr is actually my roommate and my sysadmin, so he helps a lot with making sure that everything for the website, everything for plugins, everything is just running smoothly as it should. He's also looking after our security, so our people are safe, so the mod is safe, everything is good for everyone. Common is, which is our common work, our other background things, is Evie. Love her. She's absolutely fantastic. Textures and models currently is also Silverleaf. I usually do those, but if we have some backup, Silverleaf helps you make sure to get those done on time. Eric, as always, is doing our animations. Absolutely gorgeous. We only have a few left of those to go. Building is currently B, Cholito, Golden, Jenny, and Silverwolf. Um, Silverwolf does a lot of the planning, like GE. Silverwolf had planned that. Silverwolf had planned the villager village, and they're also going to be planning the, I believe it is the military town, which will have an official name later, but currently it's a town. And then I and the others help her build it, and then Jenny's our decorator. So it was Eric, but he's too focused on animations. So Jenny has taken over and has been doing a gorgeous job. Nadarox has joined recently, and he's doing the plugins as well as the website, doing an awesome job with that. He's already gotten one of the plugins down. And then our marketing currently is Peachy. And let's see, so she's helping me a little bit with the videos and then also working on our Instagram. For the actual jobs and needing done, as you can see, dev work has a lot to do. We left a lot of the biggest tasks for last, and I didn't realize how big a lot of these tasks were. Like we have the hitching post rope knot. Apparently, for some reason, Minecraft is very, very finicky about their leashing, like the lead ropes. I'm not really sure why, but it's just really, really angry about it, and we're having a hard time figuring it out because it's just really angry. Water troughs, we almost have good to go. We just need to figure out one or two more details, and then that will be ready to go. And we did the half barrels. If you could see in the Discord, we have that up and running in all 16 colors. The water troughs will only be in metal. Um, we might do more colors later, but that would be the Western English release when we add a bunch of art. The English fencing, the horse slow up and fast down, it's gonna be difficult to do, but I am very adamant that we have that. So when you go up a hill, the horse will go marginally slower, but then when you go down, the horse will go marginally faster, and it should make trail riding a lot more fun. So you're not just going the same speed everywhere. It would actually be affected. That would also be affected by adventure too. So if you're getting chased by things and you're going slower uphill, that's gonna make things a little bit scarier. Horse riding permissions as well. We're gonna try to make it so you can only have certain people ride your horse through the actual mod itself. We don't have to have a separate plugin to be able to do it. That way, just to be sure that no one takes your horse who really shouldn't be. If they're not a friend, then they shouldn't be riding it. If they don't own the horse or don't have permission, they honestly should not be on the animal because some people are just mean, and we're going to try to prevent mean people from being able to be mean. Um, Hoses, that's a thing for another day. I kind of want to leave that alone so you guys can see that later. I feel like that's going to be, for as simple of an object as it is, I think it's going to be a lot bigger of a deal than it should be, or maybe I just really like the idea. Pooh works in the wheelbarrow. Yeah, that has to be included. That's a thing we had to do. Configuring that way servers can do their own thing, or if you just want to play alone and you really don't want to worry about how much food and water and poop your horse has to take in or let loose, you just configure it out, configure it lower, configure it higher, whatever works for you. Horse AI, we're still working on that. Horse armor and functions is almost complete. We just have a couple more details to get on that. The achievement tree, we haven't started on that yet. That is a very big project, but we don't want to start that until the very end. That way we can make sure everything is roped in properly. Gates need their textures, but they're almost done. We'll be having web guards, pasture gates or cattle gates, and stall doors as well. The spigot filling water troughs, that way you don't have to go with a bucket of water and fill the water trough with 12 buckets of water. you could just have a spigot that's connected to water and fill it that way, just to, ease some pain of doing that. I've had to fill real life troughs one bucket at a time, and it's not great. I don't want to do that in a game either. I don't want to do that in real life, let alone a game. The 5 jump level bars, we're actually going to have, it's already implemented to a point. It's functioning. We just need the animations for it. 5 different jump levels. So depending on how high your horse jumps is the way that it jumps, whether it's just a little bit of a hop or whether it's the maximum that the horse's body can do. You're going to have those different levels. So you won't look like you're trying to jump over a cavern when you're going over a cavaletti. The jumps GUI and measuring tool, we're working on that. It's it's solidly based at the moment, but there's a lot of little details that the game is angry about, so ironing out those details is makes the game crash every 3 seconds, but figuring it out little by little. Legend's getting it all figured out, and the jumps are looking pretty snazzy with all the colors. We have 16 colors for almost everything on the jumps, and it's looking pretty good. The tracker chip, so when you get off your horse and it just decides to wander off to Australia or something, you'll be able to find it. The Katazarite Anvil, don't worry about that. That's for adventure, which is important for Phase 1 release, but we'll get into that in a bit once we have everything else in. Horse affinity, so the less trained your horse is and the less it likes you, the less it'll actually obey you, which I believe we have discussed this before, but uh, when you first when you first tame a horse, it's not going to immediately obey every decision or every command you tell it to. It will actually tell you no and try to go the opposite direction because it's not trained yet. Why should it obey you? So over time, as you work with it, it will learn to love you and it will learn to obey you as you see fit, and it'll trust you enough to obey you, even if you fling it off a cliff or something like that. Which, if you do fling it off a cliff and it gets really hurt, it's not going to trust you as much. So please, please don't do that. It does not end well. The horse armor rack, so you can actually put the horse armor and actually set it down. So like an attack room or something of the sort. You don't have to have it in a chest. You can sit it just like the saddles can. Um, the saddlebags, we already have those configured and ready to go. They're great. They're for adventuring. So anything that you would need to carry or want to carry from going out into the world, it would be in the horse's saddlebag. So it doesn't have to always be in your inventory. The barn structure, that is for a pre-generated structure. The paddock feeder, so you can feed multiple horses at once out in the pasture. They can come look for food and come get that. XP bottles, that's mainly for dev testing. They will not be droppables or makeables. Makeables. You can't make them. Let's just go with that. They're simply to make it easier to dev test at higher levels, etc. So you can find those in chests and drop them on your horse and get a little bit of an XP boost. Swimming is almost done. There's just one little tidbit that we need to fix. The horse swims properly, but once you get off its back, it does the thing that most vanilla animals do, and it starts to swim at its ankles, which for like not swim horses, for vanilla ponies and like cows and stuff, that looks okay because it's just blocky, but it looks very, very odd with like a full fleshed out figure of a horse. So we're going to try and make sure that gets fixed if we have the time for it. We'll fix it no matter what, but whether it's going to be in P1 or P2 may be a toss up. Common things are just different things that need to be done in the background, like fixing SWLM. There was some issues with it, with quality, so we went through and made an entire upgrade. Well, I say we, but it was mainly Silverwolf. Silverwolf basically made the entire mod from scratch, did a beautiful job, and it's almost ready for quote-unquote re-release. Loot tables and recipes. We made hitching posts have minis, because why not? I mean, sounds adorable to me. The half barrel, it had an issue with voxels where it wasn't displaying water properly, so Silverwolf has fixed that. For some reason, currently all of the horses share pee and poo timing. It's very odd. So if one goes to the bathroom, none of the others have to go to the bathroom anymore. Like the timing is right. It's just they all share. I feel uncomfortable. Moving on. Checking all the particle effects, making sure that all of them look correct and they don't have the purple and black boxes, which is actually pink and black, but everyone calls it purple and black. Maybe I'm colorblind, I'm not really sure. Horse particle effects, so the horse will be telling you whether it's happy or sad, or whether you really shouldn't do that, or whether it's about to kick your butt for what you just did. Shop costs, that's a whole nother deal. The tack animations, the tack have to be quote unquote animated with the horse. Otherwise, like the bit or the bit with the reins, etc., just doesn't move. It has to have its own separate animation, so we have to do all of those as well. And then testing the horse leveling, making sure that works. And then Evie is working on the wiki. That is Evie's whole job, is wiki, and so far they're doing pretty damn good. Textures and modeling, that's usually under me. However, the 18 coat textures and the wings texture is under Eric, but the rest of this is like everything blue has been completed. White isn't, and then uh, these, oh, this should actually be posted as white because this is necessary. Um, and then the gray means we can probably live without it or leave it till the end, which we will definitely have these, and there's a few of these that need to be turned white, but we'll work on those in a bit. We're waiting on Matt for those, Grizzly Bear. So the paddock feeder had to be redesigned. The tack box model had to be redesigned. The rules GUI has to be designed still. I have the design for it, I just haven't made it, and it hasn't been implemented yet, but those are also in plugins, technically. The armor texture had to be redone. And the rails and gates, I had to do all of those. Oh, that was a lot of work. Animations are mainly we have the flight to do, and then the 5 different jump levels, which we already have one of the jump levels. We just need the 4 smaller ones. When Eric has the time to do it, he should be able to get those done quickly. I have full confidence in him. He's absolutely fantastic. For building, we have a lot to do on the server. So the server is a lot bigger than originally intended. I didn't realize when I made a map that was 4,000 by 4,000, I didn't realize what that meant. So that's my mistake, but we're building up to it either way. Castle wall all around still needs done. The military town, the forest hills and trails, the mesa trails and rest stops. The mesa trails and rest stops are specifically built for trails, and that is specifically for, let's see, which one was it? This right here, the horse slow up and fast down. So going through the desert on different like jumps and different trails to specifically have fun with that mechanic is what that area is for. The Pegasi floating islands, no, there is not technically flesh and blood Pegasi, but if your horse has amethyst armor, they will become temporary Pegasi as long as they have the armor on. So if you have a top tier horse on the server, you would be able to visit the Pegasi floating islands with your Pegasus. So all of these things need to be done, and we will be working on those. A lot of these are very big, especially like the castle wall all around has taken me weeks to do. I didn't intend for it. I thought it was going to take a week. No, it did not take a week. I'm still working on it. We're at the end, we're at the tail end of it, but still working on that. Um, and then like the plugins, these are the basics. This is what Matt has done so far, making sure they all work together, making sure how they work. So as soon as the server is ready to start going up, he will be able to do that testing for that very quickly. The server side mod, we have registries, license and permits, ranks and quests, things like that. Whitebook is still being worked on. The bulletin board plugin for different jobs or things. We're not sure if we're going to add this in on the first time around for phase 1 or phase 2. I mean, for phase 1, we might make it phase 2, but its intended purpose was on other servers, it's really, really hard to find a job, at least to me. You have to just kind of wander around or know someone who needs a stable hand, while the billboard can either send you on quests for what the town needs, so you can make a little bit of money, or maybe someone can post that, hey, I really need a stable hand, come on over, and go through that way. Supply and demand, I believe I've been through these before, and if not, that's okay. Otherwise, this video is going to be like 30 years long. So if you go into the Discord server and you sit with me and chat, I will explain all of this stuff to you in detail. Whatever you have questions about, I don't mind answering questions as long as they're not in the FAQ, because the FAQ has all the basic stuff. So if you go there first and then ask me questions after, I will answer really anything you want. We are transparent. We don't really have any secrets. So if you want to know what freeze time is, or laws and order, or the horse market, house market, whatever, supply and demand, I will let you know anything you want to know. The marketing admin, this is all under me and Peachy, mostly me, for reaching out to certain YouTubers. That would be Peachy. The painting contest, don't worry about that. We'll have that for future. And the finishing the white book info, that would mainly be me and a little bit of Silverleaf. Silverleaf will be helping on those once she's done with the NPCs. As you can see, these are the different NPCs that needed done: recreation offices, the equestrians, or like animal people, the shop owners, town hall, and guards and firefighters. These are all of our people, and they are currently working on those. Once they're done with that, they'll help me with plugin writing so we can make sure the plugins are very user friendly, etc. The rest of this is just like fact pages and different informations. So like public records, or like the hierarchy and achievement, how to get to a higher rank, um, how to get there, what the rewards are for doing that. If a mod is above an admin, or an admin above a mod, whatever, however that works, we have that set, and that's where you'd be able to find those. We plan on having either that on the website and or in a separate document that you would be able to download and have, so that way you can make sure of what the rules are, so you never have to be concerned if you're breaking it or if you're not, or if a mod comes by, if you'll get in trouble. We like to make everything as clean and clear as possible. And then perms, code of conduct for general people, how they should act on the server. No being a jerk, no being too much of a pansy. Um, those are my two big rules if you hang around me: is don't be a jerk and don't be a pansy. Like, have a nice in between there and we can all get along just fine. Equine info, the economy and how it works, locations, and then the fact pages. It's a lot. And this is just what we need to get done to completion. This isn't even the entire mod. Oh, and our current team. Well, this says total volunteers 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We actually have 12. Please excuse me. And that's not including myself. And then we have a couple others that are currently inactive for personal reasons. So I think that's actually 14. We have 14 staff. Anyway, so this is the entire backside of what you don't see every day, but what we see every day when we're working. You can actually understand how far we are, what we're working on, and just understand where we are. There's really no secrecy. There is transparency. Whatever you want to know, we can tell you, unless it's going to put the mod or something like that in danger, or any other people in danger of some things getting out that really shouldn't be. But other than that, most anything in here, I ain't scared to tell you. So this is just what we see. To me personally, I prefer this approach when it comes to any game, when it comes to any mod or anything of the sort. Someone being just clean and clear with me on exactly what's going on and letting me see the backside makes me feel a lot more comfortable with leaving them alone. Like, okay, I donated $50 to this. I should at least know if you guys have moved 1% along in development or something. Like, give me something to look at. Well, here you guys go. Here's plenty to look at. And again, I will answer questions on any of this. So if you want to know what the Brazilian island is, I'll go onto the server, stream for you, and I'll show you. I mean, that's not built yet, but I'll show you what the intended is. Okay. I'm sorry the mod and server have been delayed. We're going to continue working our hardest to get it up and running as soon as possible with the intended quality. Remember that we do work in VC often, and y'all are open to joining us anytime to ask questions or just listen in. Discord is the fastest to get updates, but the YouTube shows vids of those updates, so y'all can see how it all develops in real time. Game night every Friday night will continue, and I will still do weekly live stream building on SWE instead of weekly videos. During those streams, we'll be happy to display the updates on the mod, since the SWE server is also partly the beta testing server. We appreciate your patience in all this. Nanai.